Hi, I'm Roberto Martinez and you're watching Toffee TV.
Welcome to Toffee TV. This is the final word. Chelsea 3, Everton 3. We've done it again. We've got Matt Jones with us in the studio. We've done it again, Baz. Another 3-3. Another exciting game for Everton Football Club. I love these 3-3s. I prefer these 3-3s so much more than winning 1-0.
Can we change that to the final few?
The final few. I don't think, to be fair though,
Part two.
I don't
actually take the final out and just call it the fume.
I don't think this is the final fume.
No, it's not. That's
I don't
what
think
I mean.
it is the final fume. The fume awakens.
Just the fume. The fume part 1, 2, 3, 4, 22. Yeah.
Go on then. Have a rant. Tell us about your Saturday night, Baz.
No. Everton is bad for your health.
Bad.
8 hours in A&E Saturday night after this palaver. It's just unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable. Just ridiculous, unbelievable, grim, predictable, all of that stuff. 6, that many wins in 22 games. 1 win in 9 or 10. Utter bollocks!
Can I offer a positive note though? Because I'm trying to see the positives in this. I really am. We've gone to Stamford Bridge. Well, you know, you've got to have some positivity on this show, and that's what I like to think I bring to it. You know, I'm the light side of it.
Yeah. Wait till we talk about the goalie later. See how long that
there's no positives in the goalie. I'm not being funny, right? But I'm going to go full fume on the goalie this week. In other weeks I've been light on him, but this week I'm going full fume. I don't care if we lose all our American viewers. I don't care. I'm trying to see the positives of this one though, Matt. And I know you've sort of seen the positives looking at your tweets. We've gone to Stamford Bridge. We've scored 3 times. We've looked really impressive on the attacking front. We took the game to Chelsea. So from that point of view, the level is now, it was like probably there, and it's now probably there. Some of the football at times were fantastic. The first half, I thought we kept Chelsea at like arm's length and didn't give them a sniff. Second half, I just thought we were brilliant. We're going to go a little bit more into it, but we've gone 2-0 up, then 2-2, and we've shown we're going to win this game. We're not. But you know what I mean? We've gone and got that last minute goal again. Well, you say last minute. So from that point of view, there's so many positives. We look great going forward. You've got, Morales coming in having a good game. You've got Baines looking back to his best. Barkley, without having a brilliant game, still is helping out with 2 goals. Funsmari scoring goals again. He's in the goals for the centre back. There's loads and loads of positives.
But
go on, you can have the ball. But no, on the positive front.
Yeah, all the stuff you mentioned there, and what encouraged me about the way we started the second half was there were obviously been times this season, you think of Norwich, especially in other games when we've come out after our time, we've let the opposition back into the match after we've had a good first half performance, and in this game, we're straight on the front foot again. And I think having Besic in the team helps that because he can get close to opposition players, he wins tackles high up the pitch, and it helps us keep the pressure on other teams. But there's the way you mentioned there, we dominated the game at times, we passed the ball well, we created so many good chances in the game, we attacked superbly, and with Morales in the team, he gave us great balance on that left-hand side with Leighton Baines. But me and Baz were just speaking before, and I think when you do that, it can create the illusion that we're not that far away. And it's something I've been sucked into myself at times this season. I think you look at the way we're playing and you think, just a little tweak here, a little tweak there, and we're not that far away. They're just little moments in games. But those little moments are catastrophic for us at the moment. We lose concentration at the worst possible time. We've got senior players who aren't standing up and being counted at the right time in matches. And when we concede a goal, we go into panic mode. And I was looking before I came up here this morning about games this season when we conceded 2 goals in quick succession. And you think of Arsenal away, Manchester United at home, Leicester at home, obviously at the weekend, Bournemouth, Stoke, all these games. We can see 1 goal and we just go into a panic and we can see it again. And I'm sure we'll touch on upon it later about the late goal, the 3-3. But what annoyed me the most was the fact that we were in complete control of the game. We'd nullified Chelsea for the whole match. They'd had 1 chance in the first half with Willian. They looked going through the motions. They didn't look fussed. And all it took was 1 long ball upfield and that's it. They're back in the game. And it's just so frustrating and so annoying that we've let momentum slip again. The Bournemouth game, if we go there away, sneak a win in the last minute after letting it go, we build again, we can go forward, and you're so emboldened in that process. And then again at Chelsea, going there, winning the champions, scoring a last minute winner, all the fans made up, all the players made up, and we let it slip again. So just the fact that we don't seem to be able to build any momentum and we lose focus at key points in games is a massive concern for me.
I think there was loads of positives, but for all the positives going forward, defensively, it's rubbish. And I've got to say, I've seen like a lot of people, and I watched your reaction thing, and although I agreed with a lot of it, I'm going to take you to task a little bit about the Man City away, where people went, Bostow, we defended brilliantly. We could have lost 5-0. We just got lucky. We got lucky. It wasn't a case of we defended better. But we got lucky. We defended better for the last half an hour against Spurs when Bezic come on. We shut them down. Man City at home in the League Cup, they hardly had anything. We defended brilliantly. Man City in the league away, we didn't defend brilliantly. And Chelsea at the weekend was just pathetic. And it's no good being like Barcelona going forward if you're defending. Like
what I was saying with the City game was, we did get lucky, I do admit that, but I felt like the players were switched on to defend. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know we got lucky, and there was plenty of times, and I think I said it after the City game, where it was like plenty of times where the ball got whizzed across the box and only had to hit anyone's foot, it was a goal. But I felt like in that game we were switched on to defend.
We did get our positional sense like where we didn't on Saturday, and it's just. Like you've said, they're champions to go away. We've scored 3 goals away from home again and haven't won the game. We've gone to Chelsea. Let's be honest, they're mediocre this season.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they are a mediocre side this season. Yes, they were champions last year. Yes, they've got many good players, but the players look like they're on a few $100,000 a week and they don't really care. Okay. And we had them at 2-0. We had them. We were just zipping the ball around. Everyone looked so comfortable, and we give that first goal away. And I just question why at 2-0 in it, we not long after we've made it 2-0 away from home, why we're not just keeping our shape and just knocking it round. Why we're committing. I said 8 before. I think it was 7 players on the edge of their penalty area when the ball breaks down for the first goal. Why have we got 7 men on the edge of their box? I know we take risks up near the top end of the pitch, but that's a little area where you've got to learn how to just tuck in. Someone like Leicester would have just tucked in and kept it nice and tight there and seen 10 minutes through. Well,
this word that's getting bandied about a lot, some people might understand it, some people might not. Game management. And Martin has even come out after the game, so no one dare sort of talk about our game management. There's nothing wrong with our game management. He actually contradicted himself in the same interview, which I found a little bit weird. And Leighton Baines has come out and said we've got to be better at it. Leighton Baines is a senior player, and it's all well and good saying it, but it's got to start happening, hasn't it? Now, obviously, there's part of the responsibility is down to the manager and part of the responsibility is down to the players. But our players are, like you just said, they are all like, oh, let's keep going, because they are given that, like, they're like kids who are, I've said this before, Martin is like a substitute teacher, looking after a gang of school kids. They just do what they want at times. And I think one of the biggest things is 2-0. I would have looked at the team and said, right, what do we need now? Let's get a Cleverley on. Let's get a Pienaar on. I mean, that to me, I would have looked at that, because I'm still not convinced that we can play with 2 wingers. I know Lennon does that job up and down, but my problem is that our fullbacks are so attacking. That's what we've always been good at. That's why we don't need 2 wingers. It worked on Saturday. I think it worked great till they got their goal, and then it was like, we can't defend.
When would you have changed it? At 2-0?
At 2-0.
You see, I will call Martinez out when I see it, but I don't really. I think at 2-0, because we'd only just scored, we hadn't long scored, we just looked so in control. So sometimes you look and thinking, if they'd have come back in wave after wave, and then I'd have been like with you, what I think he should have made the change was at 2-1.
Yeah.
Because we then started just kicking the ball. We hadn't done it all day. Next minute we couldn't clear our lines, we're kicking the ball. Bezic just giving the ball like Gareth Barry 3 times on the run. Let it run across his body and he were into us. And then
that's why I mentioned Pienaar, because I think Pienaar is the type of player who can come on the pitch and just take the momentum out of the game for the opposition.
What annoyed me about it was the way Chelsea made an obvious tactical change in the game. They brought Oscar on and they put Fabregas deeper to get him on the ball more. And that first goal just comes from that. He's in so much space. I know he's having a poor season, he's not up to the standards, but you can't let a player like him have so much time on the ball. And whether that's bringing on someone like Cleverly to get close to him and stop him from dictating the game, or if you say to Besic, you push up and Ross, you drop in, stop him from dictating the game, stop him from pinging those passes forward, which they were trying to do it in the first half at times as well.
Yeah. But I think at 2-0, I don't think we were under any. Don't forget that goals come because if we're playing the game properly, so we're 2-0 up, we're playing with our heads, we're 2-0 up, we don't need to commit 7 men forward. If we've got our shape right, that's a long ball that get eaten up, isn't it? I know exactly what you're saying. After that, when it went 2-1 and he got on the ball, that's what I'm saying. That's when I agree with you. The change needed to be made at 2-1 to put someone on him and try and close the game down a little bit, give us that bit of insurance.
Do you think do you think that we've got to learn, and this might sound stupid, but do you think we've got to learn to, when we're 2-0 up, to just go into like training mode? So we're passing it for this. It's passing, but it's not going anywhere. If that makes any sense. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like we showed. But you watch Barcelona, and they get leads, or they're just whatever, and they pass the ball for fun, but they don't go anywhere. And all they're doing is just wearing down the opposition and just taking time out the game, and it's just pass, and they're not actually going anywhere. And then suddenly they will just snap into action, and I think at times, and we did it at the end of the Man City game when we were down to 10 men. I think that was just it had to be a focus thing. But I just think there's times in the game where you just pass it around, just move the ball, keep the opposition moving. And I think what we did when we were 2-0 up is we went passing we're going to go and get a third without still thinking, right, let's calm things down.
They were wide open, no, that's why. I think it's no, I agree with you, but I think when you're playing in them games and you think we've got these on the rack, I personally wanted us to keep going because I thought these are all over the place, but you do have to go, let's keep it nice and calm, slow it down. What we needed to start doing is, and this is where Pienaar would have been good, we need to be clever in them positions, so go and get the free kicks, take your time, pull your socks. It might be, people mightn't like it because it's breaking a game up, but that's how you win games.
Costa rolling off the pitch and back on the pitch.
But that's it, it's clever. It's the thing is, mate, is that I don't think Everton, call it in-game management so you want, but I think Everton don't ever want to see blocks of 10 minutes out. I thought that as a kid. It's like when certain coaches would say you get a goal, right, get through the next 5 minutes, then the 5 minutes after that, so you keep your shape, you're nice and tight, break it up, kick it out for a goal kick, throw it out for a throw in, block people in. Don't give them a chance to build that head of steam. And I just think we got the second and it was a worldie. And we just, like you said, we just went, this is boss, let's keep going. And people committing, Oviedo, he doesn't lose the ball, it passes to him. But he's a right back, he shouldn't be fly. It's not with 2 minutes to go and we need a goal. We're 2-0 up. So just keep your shape. If we've got 4 defenders there when that ball gets knocked long, he can come in, tuck in behind. The fact is, they knock it long. Stones and Jagielka are far apart. Jag's position's wrong. All of a sudden, one ball is a one-on-one, which is ridiculous. How can a straight ball from the edge of the box be one-on-one? It wouldn't happen anyway.
It's like we get carried away, isn't it? People mention about the goal celebration and stuff. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I think there are times in the game, and I think back to that Palace match at home when we were everyone was just bombing forward. Everyone was just bombing forward. Why not just sit and go from there, get a solid base? And you mentioned there about maybe passing the ball around, and I think it's horses for courses for me, because against City, they seemed happy with the 2-1 in that game. You brought on Fernando, took De Bruyne off, and they sat back, and then you're allowed to keep the ball. You can do it. But Chelsea at the weekend, they were pressing right onto us, and in a situation like that, when you're under pressure and you're trying to defend a lead, sometimes you just need to, put it into the corner, push up, box them in, and people like that, I know this is his instinct, but taking a player on.
But I don't think what I was talking about there is when we were 2-0 up, I don't think we were actually under any pressure.
No.
Till that ball. Do you know what I mean? I think we were still. Stamford Bridge was deadly quiet.
I honestly think when Morales scored, I honestly think their players thought this is over. That's what they looked. There was no instant.
Exactly, and I just thought if we kept the ball for 10 minutes, that would have just completely took the air out of the place, and then we could have scored almost when we wanted to. Yeah. And I just think that's what at the moment we lack, and it's just that mentality to just know when it's that that nous to just go, right lads, let's just 10 minutes, let's just keep the ball, don't do nothing stupid. And that's why I would have brought on a Pienaar. Just take one of your flair players off, or take Barkley off, let's say, for example.
Your man, you're 2-0. I mean, the goals were excellent, mate. I know, obviously, John Terry's.
But the goal was, it was the move.
The move was really, it was a great ball. Barkley done well holding it up, and Baines just fired it. And if Terry misses it, Lukaku had the tap in on that. He probably missed it the way he played, but he had the tap in on the line. And then the second goal showed what we've been banging on for Kevin Morales to do. A goal out of not, wonderful touch, great strike. You 2-0 up by Chelsea, everyone's bouncing, they're gone, they're deflated, they're thinking, right, these are the good stuff. Because like you said before, we weren't under any pressure.
No.
We literally, it was one of our easiest games we've had. Yeah. We were walking through it, everything was going well. This is why I don't think he was thinking about changing it. But as a manager, even if you're not going to make that change at 2-0, you should be barking out instructions. Yeah. That he should have been saying when we were breaking forward, tell Oviedo to stay. Make sure we've got 4. We can, if we have 4 and Gareth Barry, the other 5, that's 5 attackers can still go after the goal. But we're insurance, and he doesn't. He's like, you see him watching it, and he's clapping, and you're leaving 2v2, and you're thinking, we've won 1 game in 9 or 8, whatever it was, prior to Saturday. And these are the reasons why. Because all of this type of man, you used to see Moyes would be there, he'd be bollocking players to stay in position. And then other times he'd be giving Coleman a pat on the arse, telling him to get forward, wouldn't he? Martinez is a bit, everything's like, the thumb, everything you're doing, you're thinking, that's great, because it'll make you feel good as a player, but where's your defensive now? So we're 2-0 up, and it's not like most of the season we've held leads, and Saturday was one of those games, and you can write it off and go, we're gutted, but it was just a one-off. It ain't a one-off no more. It's happened too many times, and I want to see that side.
That's where the frustration and then the anger comes from, isn't it? And there's a lot of people. I mean, I'm trying to see the positives in it. I really am, because
we've scored 3 goals. That's
playing some great football.
That's a positive. We've got a centre half that scores goals.
But it's like,
but you look at the league and you go, we're 11th. We've won 1 game in 9, and that's when it's
6 in 22.
That's when it suddenly dawns on you. We've scored second most amount of goals in the Premier League, but our against record is just, you've got teams like Norwich who've conceded half as many goals at home as what we have.
We conceded more goals than any team in the league at home.
It's ridiculous.
That's 2 goals a game, roughly, at home.
And as you say, it's little things, but they are actually big things, because if the manager's not preaching to them, then
didn't he say about he's never going to tell our players to go to the corner?
Well, that's one of the big things, isn't it? So, which is just, I can't have that, because that's just ridiculous. That's one of the first things you taught as a kid. Colin Harvey actually invented it. Colin Harvey actually invented that. Run last minute of a game, in a big massive game, Colin Harvey just runs to the corner.
It's in our DNA.
I remember playing for Everton in the thing, and I remember we were winning 1-0, the ball come up, and I just hooked it on the halfway line, just to help it on. And got the best bollocking ever by Graham Smith and Colin Harvey about not getting it and running to the corner with it, and that was when we were champions.
There's no shame in doing that.
You win a game.
Exactly.
I've said this probably, people watch it, I've said it about 20 times. The biggest reason I knew Wayne Rooney was a winner and was clever was when he was 16. We played West Brom at home, when he stood on the ball, not that big, but he was telling Kevin Campbell, who was 34, to go to the corner flag with the ball, and Campbell was like, what do you mean? And Rooney took it off him and ran to the corner flag, and he was rolling it, and I was thinking, this kid is 16 years of age, winning 1-0 against an all-our side at the time, like West Brom, and he stood in the corner flag rolling his foot over the ball and playing it off them for throw-ins, and Campbell's like, oh, is that what you meant? I've only played the game for 20 odd years, and my brain isn't switched on, and it's little things like that which win your games. You can't go, we're not going to do that because I want us to be perfect. I'm sorry, right, but if anyone, even the most optimistic of Evertonian, if anyone just believes that one day this is all going to click into place and we are going to win every game 6-2 and it's going to be perfect football, you are deluded, because these things don't just click into place.
And also,
you don't get any team. If you're going to go anywhere in the game, you need to be solid defensively, you need to be smart, you need to know when to shut the game down, you need to know how to win cheap free kicks. And I know it's horrible, and I know it's not a type of game that everyone enjoys, but you need to do it. And it's like, Martinez seems to be striving for a utopia. I think someone used the
That's
word.
it. That's what it
And
is.
he wants us to play like with Barcelona. I mean, you know, keep the ball. That's how you defend. You keep the ball. You don't let the opposition have it at them times. But it's not always that easy. There's going to be times when you score a last-minute goal at Stamford Bridge in a mental game, and you just need to get over the line and get the 3 points. Just look into the corner.
When
just
you're
see
in
the
the
game
pub
out.
having a pint, and Everton have spent the last 10 minutes in the corner flag keeping the ball, and we've won 2-1. Is that sweeter than we've played Utopia and 3-3 with the last minute?
No.
What makes you happy, more happy? Having a drink at home, thinking, oh, we've won again, we're up where we are in the league. No. Oh, it was marvellous the way we played 1,000 passes and then conceded a goal.
Mentally, what does this do to the players and the fans? Because it's again, isn't it? I mean,
well, the Bournemouth game, I think, has scarred us, because I seen a stat at the weekend saying before that game we hadn't lost any points from winning positions this season, and since then, in the 49 days since then, we've lost 11 points from winning positions, and that just shows. And I seen on social media at the weekend when we went 3-2 up, everyone was going, "Oh no, this could be another Bournemouth." I was watching it thinking, "Oh God, we could concede here again. You know, we could do exactly the same again." And if we're all thinking that, and we're all scarred by it, the players will be as well.
Let's break it. We're 2-0 up. We've scored 2 good goals. It's a long ball down the pitch, a long pass, because he's obviously just playing a percentage ball.
I'm going to let Ped off this one.
So Ped, Fabregas has got
there's
it.
so many things wrong.
He
with
hits
this
the
game.
long hoof. I wasn't joking. He plays a long pass down the pitch to Costa.
Yeah.
Right. You take over.
Well, number one, why is Jagielka so deep? That's what I can't understand. And that...
Isn't he the quickest defender in the league?
I don't understand why he's so deep, but again, is he so deep because he doesn't trust his goalkeeper to be off his line? And that's, again, when people...
Which is going to be quite ironic when you go to point 2.
It's funny because we played the high line.
But when people criticise, when people want to defend the goalie, they defend him for a few of his saves. Okay, Wednesday's magnificent, but so what? He won us a point. So what? If we had like when you look at these modern day goalies, I watched 3 of them yesterday on Sky, and Graham Souness and Schmeichel and Jamie Carragher, they're all waxing lyrical about how having a boss goalkeeper basically just wins your points and points. I was speaking to Robbie last week from Arsenal Fan TV, and he just went, I look at Tim Howard, and that's what I look at all those years as an Arsenal fan and go, Almunia and all.
He's actually admitted it because he normally defends.
But he just said all these goalkeepers that they've had, and now they've got Czech, and it's just like, and now it's just like, don't have to worry about that. But for me, I look at Jagielka and I think if he had a goalkeeper that he could trust, he would be 10 yards further up the pitch, and the goalie be 10 yards, would be outside his box.
On the edge of his day.
And he'd just be sweeping that up. You know, you watch...
Watch Butland the other week at Goodison.
Yeah.
And when Shawcross pushed them out, he was on his day. So if it was a long ball, I'd evaded them. He can seize the eyes.
So where's... Number one, so... His starting position, the goalie starting position is so deep. I've got no one that needs... We're attacking in the other half. You're right. I've seen some goalies be halfway in the opposition's half at that point. Because all they have to do is take 10 steps back and they're in their own box. It's nothing to worry about. Why is he so deep? Jagielka gets it all wrong. I mean, I've seen people saying, "Oh, why has he let it bounce?" He hasn't let it bounce. He's got the flight completely wrong, and he's. But when people criticise Jagielka, and this isn't a witch hunt, this is fact. Jagielka gets it all wrong, but then the goalkeeper makes Costa's mind up for him. Again, I watched over the weekend. I watched it. Well, in the same game, we see Morales at 2-2 have a chance.
Yeah.
The goalie just stays big. He makes his mind up. He forces the striker to make a decision, and he makes the save. Tim Howard Costa doesn't have a decision to make because he's got an open goal. Howard takes Jagielka out. Jagielka could have still survived. He still could have got something out of that. Howard's gone clatter it. Howard, go through both of them if you've got to. Take them both out. Kick the ball. Kick Costa in the face and kick Jagielka in the bollocks. I'm not arsed.
Take the 3. The 3 of them to end up in a heap.
You would have got the foul probably.
Well, if he'd have got at worst the yellow card, because Jagielka's goal set would never have been a red card.
Howard leaves Costa with no decision to make.
Howard, as for me, He would defend him all you want, but he's single-handedly...
You can't defend him.
He's single-handedly turned the game on its head. He's seen it last year, Crystal Palace at home last year, long punt down the pitch, comes charging off his line like a toss pot to the corner of the box, takes the lad out, penalty, 1-1. Anfield, in that dark day, came charging out of his corner of his box and makes Sturridge's mind up, even though he had a man with him. Saturday, we're 2-0 up. Stay on your line. Let Jagielka have the race.
One more rant, one more. When are people going to realise, right, he's 37 in 2 months' time, right? This is not... No, when we grew up, everyone used to say, oh, the keeper doesn't peak till he's 35. That is gone now. Goalies peak at like 30, and they're in the best days of 25 and 30. Go on YouTube, right?
It's got to be dynamic, haven't you now?
Go on YouTube for a start and watch these videos of these kids, right, taking shots from outside the area with these footies now, and watch how much swerve and how much dip. And these are just normal kids. Watch like Ronaldo taking free kicks. Watch any top player now. Watch them all, yeah. Watch them all. You have to be young and have to be able to just be able to contort your body in 3 different ways.
Go and have a look at AC Milan's goalie.
He's 30. He's nearly 37. And as I say, I watched 3 goalies yesterday. Butland, Cech and De Gea, who make saves after saves when they've got no right to. He's gone.
It's not just...
He's gone. He's finished. Stop defending him and start looking at Everton Football Club and think to yourselves, we need a top-class keeper. Whether that be Robles, I don't know. But he just... Know what I was thinking last night, right? Know what I was thinking? Imagine next week we beat City, right? We get to the final and we beat whoever, and we beat them because of Joe Robles. Does the next game, does Tim Howard seriously come into it? But how can that be allowed?
We've just gone and beat Manchester City in the League Cup. We won 2-1.
Oh, no.
We then beat Dagger, clean sheet. The next game, he's back in.
But imagine we beat whoever in the final, and Robles was the cup hero, and he's like, oh, you know, and Everton bringing t-shirts out with Robles on and all this, and he's got... I know, but how can that be allowed to happen? How we honest to God, when I heard the rumours of the day, they could be going back to MLS. There was a big party in our house because you've got to let him go. You've got to let him go. He's gone. I know he's gone, and it's just killing me.
He's gonna get fined
because I sound like. Why are you picking on me, Pete?
You are no more.
But it just winds me up so much because I'm just watch people just defend them, and how can they defend them? Yes, he had a decent game against Man City. So what? Just get for the sake.
Just breathe, Macko.
For the sake of Everton Football Club. For the sake of Everton Football Club, please just let him go because he's not good enough. He's not good enough.
Let him go.
He's not good enough though, is he?
No.
He's got. Oh my God.
He should be frozen out.
How long have we been
Is he the oldest? Is he the oldest Premier League goalkeeper now? Is he the oldest Premier League goalkeeper?
Can't be far off.
Yeah, he must be.
Who else is around? Givens, like brushing his hair.
He's a Middlesbrough now, isn't he? You think?
Yeah, he'll be the oldest.
But he's experienced, so it's all right. He's experienced.
That's what I was going to say.
He's all right. He's experienced.
The manager waxes lyrical about how he's experienced, and you know we need. What was it? I can't remember the exact words he used about it. It was how his experience.
No, how problem.
Just leave him alone.
It's worth.
You're out of order.
It's worth more than the. It's worth more than his performances, or worth more than his form, or something like that.
Watching De Gea win a game yesterday, pretty much single-handedly, is what you want from a player. You want a goalkeeper. Oh, it's the Arsenal game, right? It's 0-0, and Ed Chamberlain said something like, "Oh, we'd have nothing to talk about if it wasn't for the goalies." You would have had like loads of goals, but because the goalie saved them all, you didn't. Oh my God, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that people are still putting him up here on a pedestal. When he's finished, he's absolutely finished. Bin him off. Bin him off. I'm sick of talking about him. He's awful. Get rid of him, please. He's absolutely god-awful. And I get all these people just going, oh, leave him alone, he's boss, and see that save he made. Remember when he made those saves in like the 09... Yeah, the 09 semi-final, go to the cup final, when he's like this, when Frank Lampard has a shot. Just get rid of him!
Yet. Like, just chill. Right. He was 100% to blame for the goal. 100%. But comes out...
75%.
For me, he's 100%.
He's sticking up for him now.
Because if he stays big, and Costa runs on and slots, you just go, right, Jagielka should have done better.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? But what that does is, you could see all of our players like looking at him going, Jagielka looked at him as if to say, and he's like,
what are you doing?
He's like kicking like a little kid, like swinging his leg and all that. Costa's like that. You're a bad player, you lad. As a joke, do you want a kebab?
You let John Terry score a flick.
Hey, you haven't got
I don't care who's offside. John Terry, you know, I'm just saying.
But, that to me swung the pendulum right back into their favour.
You mentioned all those goalies there as well. What they all do, which
Save shots.
They come out and they make them. They don't charge in like they used to, a dive to the floor.
No.
They stand up and they stop. And we mentioned, we were talking before about how early in the season, probably Howard's best game when he played against Spurs, when Harry Kane ran through on goal and he stood there and he did it and he saved it.
Yeah.
And that situation, and you mentioned the senior players there, when you're 2-0 up in a game like that and you've got a decision to make in a match, that's when your experience should come to the fore and you should think, I'm not going to be rash here, I'm not going to make an erratic decision, I'm going to do the sensible thing. And didn't do it.
Run charge, you know.
But he's experienced. So that's all right.
All right, you just chill now. You just chill. And then obviously they get that equaliser, which was spawn in itself. But you can't moan too much because we had the own goal. 2-2. And then, to be honest with you, the best thing that happened for us, not the best thing for him, but obviously the thing that for me enabled us to get a foothold back in the game was Oviedo going down for a few minutes, because it kind of took the momentum away. Costa has a goal he should really, a chance he should really score. After that, we kind of got our Pina, Amazon and Delafay, we kind of got back in. I was thinking, we're the ones that are going to win this, because they kind of went again. Costa went off and Remy come on, he was just Remy on, he's done nothing. We get that goal, which is fantastic, and lad who robbed the headband, have a word with yourself.
He gave him it, didn't he?
Did he give me? Oh, he had it out. Yeah, and he had a big. Have a word. Don't rob it, mate. If it's 5-2, keep it, but not 3-2. But you know, we get that.
Yeah, I blame him because Murray missed a header.
Yeah, she didn't want an header.
3-2, Murray missed a header.
We get that goal, but then
fans,
you know, we're celebrating and all that, and you're thinking, oh God, Bournemouth again. But then we kind of ride out the worst bit, and then you hit on the thing before, is that we have the ball 2 or 3 times, and this is because of Martinez. No one wants to just put it into the corner flag. You see, I remember us playing Arsenal at home, and Cahill scored. It was in the night. Cahill scores, and we're winning 1-0.
Yeah.
And we break, and everyone's screaming. I can't remember who it is. Everyone's screaming at them just to knock it into the corner.
I think it actually might have been Pina.
And Pina tries to play it, gets it taken off, long ball, and Van Persie volleys it in. And Moyes come out and actually said he should have just kicked it to the corner flag. Just welly it into the furthest, the most least dangerous place in the park is their corner flag. And Delafay has it. And all he has to do is just launch it. I don't give a crap if they start booing. Launch it into their corner flag. Like you said, everyone move up the pitch 30 yards and defend it, and we don't. He tries to take him on, loses it. They get it down the line, it gets blocked. Baines shoots it out. And then we're not clever enough to go and charge the ball. No. Everyone's like switching off and jogging back.
Yeah, and we had
plenty of opportunities there.
It's just like...
You've got 3 centre-halves on the pitch at this point, and Oscar, who's probably the slenderest little player in the Premier League, is winning a header in our 18-yard box, and we've got everybody back in the 98th minute.
That's because Murray didn't want to header it.
Let me ask you the question. Should Howard have come off his line earlier for that?
I think he should be faster to it. I think he definitely should be quicker out to it.
Because I just think, watching Joel, I don't know whether Joel would have come for the... Because it's 2 flick-ons, isn't it? So I think the first one...
I don't know about that. I think we actually held a good high line.
We held
a good high line, so there is space for the, you mentioned there about the starting position. I don't think his starting position is great, because when you've got a high line like that, you could easily be a couple of yards further forward and out, and getting out of things quick like that, being ready to come and take.
Because if he steps forward another 2 yards, it highlights how far offside John Terry is. If John Terry stood next to the goalie, the linesman sees the keeper, the arms going.
Listen, it's an awful decision, but I think the way the chance came about and the 3 headers they won in succession, when you've got 3 centre-halves on the pitch, you'd expect at least one of them to go and win.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming Howard for the 3rd goal.
Oh, no.
It was a refereeing. Well, it was the centre-half, first of all, because Jagielka should be right through Oscar there winning that. And the linesman, Howard probably could have done better, because it's a back heel by JT.
Don't tell
you know what I mean? But the linesman has got to give that as offside. He's got to.
Well, he said he thought Jagielka
then you know what? He does things I'm not even going to talk about on camera. But for me, the real problem is, if we'd have held on, and that, don't get me wrong, I'd have been lauding it. You know, there'd been an A&E lauding it. But it would have covered up the fact that we've still made mistakes that have cost, that could have cost us points, and it has cost us points.
Yeah.
Ask yourself this: 22 games played, we've won 6. I think we've won. Saying to you, I think someone put a stat up the other day. We've won 17 games in the last 18 months since the start of the season.
1 game a month we've won in the Premier League.
With this is allegedly the best squad that we've had since 84.
11. We've drawn half of our games. 11 draws. That says to me that we're just there's an unbalance. We're just so unbalanced.
Attacking match, we are great to watch, but it's no good if scoring 3 goals at Stamford Bridge isn't bringing you 3 points. What's the point? You may as well draw every game 0-0. You may as well be tight at the back and go, we'll get a point there, and it's got to the stage now where you'd have to worry, you'd have to look and go, are we really as close to being brilliant as what we're led to believe, as what we're looking at and seeing, or are we actually just within?
I thought we were, but I'm starting to have doubts the last few weeks.
I'm open because I've said about this in the last few weeks. Last few weeks I've been really positive. I think we're getting a shape. I think things changed the minute Mo Besic walked on the pitch against Spurs. I'm just
that was by fault.
I know, but I'm just open. I'm just open. This is a blip. I look at the fixtures in the next few weeks. Swansea, Newcastle. We've only really got Arsenal at home, Manchester United away, and Liverpool away. That are of any real substance now.
Be in the cup final that weekend.
Well, yeah, but we have actually got. I looked at the fixtures before. We've actually got a really good run in now. Good run in. And I'm just hoping that this is a blip, because I think if we can be, I know, and I'm hoping. I'm not saying it is.
I know.
I'm just saying that I'm hoping it's a blip, and if we can just get away from that stupid mad 5 minutes that we had on Saturday. It would have been a perfect performance.
Right, let me just take you to task on it, because I'm
not taking you to task. I'm just saying I'm hoping.
I'm feeling the same way. I'm really positive, and I know what we'll do. I know that in these last 16 games, we'll probably roll off 8 wins, and everyone will go, we'll get to 8th or 9th, and everyone will go, I was all right that season, played some great stuff. But where are we? We're 3 years down the line. Where are we? Are we a side that's edging closer to the top 4, or are we actually just treading water? And that's what I'm saying, is we've had more money, we've got better players than we've ever had. This isn't gonna, no matter what we do now, we've done exactly what we done 12 months ago. We won games in November, and we went into December going, if we win 3 or 4 of these, we're on the top 4, and we didn't win a game.
Football-wise,
and we've done it again a year.
Football-wise, don't you feel like we're a lot further down the line though?
Attacker-wise, I think defensively we're getting worse. I don't see what people are telling me, that we're looking better.
Do you think? Do you think that by signing a goalkeeper, let's just say tomorrow we took over and money wasn't any arguments, and suddenly we had all the jewels in the world, we could go and get the Gea. Do you think? No, I'm just saying. I know that can't happen. Yeah. But do you think if we signed the Gea tomorrow, do you think then suddenly this team would become a top 4? Because I actually do think it would.
I think what it would do would be, obviously, I don't know whether it'd be top 4, be very close, because. But I also think we need a centre half. We need another centre half for me, because we're just between Jagielka, Murray and Stone, Sutton, right? Now, whether that's the goalie might make them a lot more solid, fair enough. But I think we need a nasty ass centre half in there as well.
I agree with you in a sense that the last few games have been positive. I think the shape has been a lot better. But you mentioned those games there against Swansea, against Newcastle. I just worry he's going to go back to Cavalier again, playing someone on the left, like someone like Coney on the left wing.
Do you know if he does? Do you know if he goes back to Cavalier, then he's done. He's finished for me, because his biggest problem for me is going up against sides that he feels like he can beat, and just throwing everything at them like Saturday. Whereas Wednesday, a game that he clearly probably thought that he couldn't win, or had to be a lot more reserved. We were a lot more of a defensive team.
Right. Next Saturday, Sunday, Swansea at home. Who plays on the flanks then? So does Morales stay in?
Oh, I think he's got
Played well and scored.
So, mate, I'm sorry.
So he comes out. So he plays on the right, Delafeu.
Delafeu cleverly. I'm sorry, cleverly.
That won't happen.
No, but for me, right.
Unless Morales plays on the right.
Yeah,
it's either Morales or Delafeu on the right. I don't think you can play Morales on the left. I think you've got to play someone on the left with Baines that can offer something for Baines and not be an out-and-out attacker.
It did work on Saturday.
But Lennon can get away with it because he's a worker. And Morales.
So maybe he'll play the same team.
But that's what I'm saying. It's either for me.
Maybe he'll play.
And I know this doesn't fit with what everyone wants. But I just think cleverly is the man on the left who does the job. I think you can get away with Lennon because he's not an out and out and he will work. But I don't think you can get away with Morales on one side and Delafeu on the other side. That to me is just the same as having Tony in the team.
No, I think you can, but I think what you'd have to do is make sure your midfield three are a flat three. I think Ross
Barkley can't play them.
But he can do because he played the other week in a flat three and he was very good. But the problem with Ross is if he's not asked to sit back. But I think if Morales in the form he was in on Saturday, I think it's not as big a problem. I think if Morales goes to like he was against Dagenham, where he's leaving his position and not asked, then you're totally spot on. Because
It's the full-backs I worry about, though. It's not.
But Baines was outstanding.
But he won't, though, because he doesn't want them to. That's what I'm saying.
Baines was outstanding.
Especially if Coleman's not going to play, and say Stones plays at right back the weekend, why can't he just sit, give a bit of cover to Delafeu, and then have Morales on the left?
Because he won't, though, because the manager just doesn't want them to sit. That's the problem. He won't allow them to sit.
Don't you think,
that's an issue in itself, then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Swansea are wide open, and I've got no confidence, so wouldn't you think that?
But I don't think you bring someone like Cleverley in, and for me, you don't. It's not like you say, "Oh, he's just going to sit on the left hand." He does offer something, go back and forth.
I just think
maybe Pina could play it, maybe Lennon, but I don't think, and this is just me, and I know loads of people argue with me. I don't think you can get away with Delafeu and Morales and Ross Barkley and Lukaku and just have Gareth Barry and Bessett sitting in front of him.
I think against Swansea you can. I think against City in the week you can.
But I just want to know what I just want to see against Swansea. 2-0.
2-0, yeah.
I just want to see 2-0. I just want to see a goal in the first half, a goal in the second half, and we just go.
It's Joe Robles.
I think we've won a game 1-0 this season, haven't we?
I don't want to win any games 1-0. I want to win 2-0. One at first half, one second half. That's all I want.
I want to win 9-0.
That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do.
I'd love to see us just grind out a 1-0 win.
Not even grind out.
We won 1-0.
I don't want to see it grind out. What I want to see is control a game from start to end and just score a couple of goals and be able to score when we want, but almost be like, do you know what, we're just going to...
The big problem for me with believing that we are moving forward is the fact that he sticks with Howard, because I just think there's no evidence that we're trying to build a new defence.
He's 37. He's 37 in 2 months. In 2 months, he's 37. How is he the future? He is not the future.
Set him up again, though.
Yeah, sorry. But I think... Go ahead. Take us away from this.
There are factors of his management which do concern me, and the fact that there's a lot of principles and the way he approaches the game that aren't really conducive to long-term success. If you can't see out leads, which you've shown the last couple of months that we definitely can't do, you can't stop goals being conceded. They're massive factors. If you can't shut games down, if you can't manage the game at crucial periods. He's been here 3 seasons now, and it seems to be getting progressively worse.
Do you know what he's
He conceded 280 goals in 4 seasons for Wigan.
That's what worries me. If you look at the trajectories of the two teams, they're exactly the same. They play the same. I seen the stat the other day saying how many goals, like Wigan, the goals they scored when they just stayed up, or even when they went down. They were scoring the kind of goals you would score if you finished in the top half.
Yeah, they
top half of the table.
They just
conceded loads of goals. And
if you look, someone put a stat up about, and you sometimes forget this, but if you look at Moyes' last 8 seasons you forget how high Everton actually were. And we've had 5th, and we've had 11th with Bobby, and this season could be 11th or 10th. But if you look at Moyes, it was 5th, 6th, 6th. And I'm not saying Moyes is a better manager. It's just.
And it's not. Hang on, and it's not Martinez or Moyes.
No, I'm not saying.
It seems to be argument at the moment.
No, it's not Martinez or Moyes. What I'm saying is this is more about principles. Like David Moyes was a boring manager, shall we say? We were very negative. But it just showed that he had the defensive side of it right, and Everton's league placings were 5th, 6th, 5th, 7th, 7th, 6th. Roberto Martinez, what a fantastic attacking. Gus Hidden called us a beautiful team to watch at the weekend. But defensively, we're letting goals in, and our league placings going dun 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 dun. And
we haven't moved off 11.
It shows you. It shows you.
What gets you further in football? A good attack or a good defence?
Good defence. Good defence. But it's lovely if you can marry
the other thing
like
is
Bayern
though,
Munich.
The other thing is though, I always think you have to start at the bottom. You have to start an attack and work in defence and work your way up. Because if
you've kind of done it deal well.
Exactly, because and this is why people like Allardyce make a living and Pulis make a living. They start at the bottom and they just go, right, what we're going to do is, you've been losing games, so this week we're going to draw. And then next week we're going to nick it.
Do you know what?
And I don't want to see that, but what I'm saying is that it's a platform, isn't it?
The other thing I'll say as well, just very quickly, I watched Tottenham against Sunderland turned it off at 1-1 actually when they were bringing the centre half on, who then threw 3 goals in his net team, someone call him.
The worst game you've ever had, yeah.
Right, but for that first hour, Spurs were very like Everton, but the difference was how hard they were. And I look at Everton and sometimes I think, we don't look fit. We get to about 70 minutes and we're gone.
That was the point
passion's gone.
That was the point I was going to make before when you were saying about we can't play Lukaku, Barkley, Deulofeu, Morales. At what point do we look at these players and say, you should be working harder. We shouldn't just be accepting that you don't put effort in.
But then that's the bench though, isn't it? Lukaku. How many times have we said this season where Lukaku should have been took off after 70 minutes and someone like Coney should be brought on? But then you go, hang on, do you really want to bring Coney on? That's the problem. There's no replacement. That's what we were saying last week about the squad. The squad's not good enough. There's not enough players on the bench that are fighting to be in the first team.
You haven't got play. The problem for Everton is they haven't got players in key areas. So it's all right going. We've got 96 right wingers, or we've got 10 central midfield
14 left backs.
You know what I mean? But you haven't got. You've got one and a quarter striker in your squad. Now when Naismith's gone, you've got 1 and a quarter striker in your squad. You know what I mean? And if you had another centre forward who could come on and run at and get your goals and be a threat, you go, this side.
Even in the last 10 minutes, and I was thinking this before, even in the last 10 minutes, if we'd had like an Andy Johnson style centre forward who you could just lash balls into the corners.
He wouldn't have turned them, would he? He would have had it, wouldn't have passed it, he'd have been like that.
Yeah. What I mean is though,
that's the style.
You've got someone that you can ping, stretch them. That's what I'm thinking.
There was one and I did nearly boot me telly through in the first half. This was as well. We broke. Ross Barkley got the ball. You know that thing where he's amazing at doing it. He receives it, and John Obi Mikel was trying to get his hand down his catch, and he rolled him, Ross, and he broke away, knocked it, and he was steaming forward with the ball. And he ran past our 3 attackers. Lukaku was just like that. I can't run. He just left them for dead. And we're going, where's the movement for him? Yeah. And Ross has to turn and he's holding it up. And I think he took the ball off him. And Divies will be going, Barkley, you're not past there.
The same nearly happened for the second goal. He broke forward. No run. He got to the edge of the box and he had to come back. And eventually we did score. We scored. Where's the movement in?
Where's Lukaku going? Put me through. I want to do some damn. No. He went back to Ron 12 months ago.
I get what you mean about like how we haven't got people on the bench, but I think these players should be putting work in anyway. They should be putting. You know, what excuse have they got?
Don't work.
Like, what I would say against when we played Tottenham the other week, and I know it's not necessarily their game stuff like that. People like Deulofeu, maybe you can cope with it because they produce stuff. But watching Tottenham last week when they came to us. At that end of 90 minutes, they were absolutely out on the feet, exhausted.
What I would say about Romelu Lukaku is I don't think he's fit. And I think he's played nearly.
Probably had to play.
He's played nearly every game
He's been marvellous this season.
He's played like every game this season. He got that injury obviously against City. He came back for the City game. He didn't look right against City. He didn't look quite right against Chelsea. And again, that goes back to the bench.
He's got 8 days now on it to recover.
That goes back to the bench. There's no one there who can replace him, even for the last 10 minutes. And the whole thing about the whole team of the defence and attack. At the moment, we have got this gorgeous looking mansion, right? And it's built on a swamp. And that's the best way I can describe Everton.
Fair coat, no knickers.
Well, I didn't want to go there, you know what I mean? I didn't want to go there. Right, we've talked enough about this game. Tell us what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with us? Do you agree about the defence? Do you agree about Tim Howard?
What I'd give to have him at centre half.
Oh, Waggy. What a man. Tell us what you think in the comments. Is the squad good enough? Should we have more players? Should we be going out and buying established players rather than 9, 18-year-olds, 14 embryos?
Buy a striker.
Swiss under 21 internationals. We've got to do national service.
And them as well, yeah.
Pele next year.
Yeah. Tell us what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Join us on Twitter. It is at... What is it? I don't know.
Toffee TV
at Toffee
1.
TV1. On Facebook as facebook.com/Toffee TV EFC. All those things. We'll see you soon. Happier, hopefully.